In this video, we're talking about how to promote a product launch. So you've worked your butt off creating the perfect solution to your dream customers' pain points and problems. And now it's time to launch. But how do you get loud about your launch without getting lost in the rest of the noise? Stay tuned in this video. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to share with you the secret to getting really loud without creating unnecessary noise. I'm going to share with you the team that you must have on your side if you ever want to experience success. And I'll share with you the strategy behind big business launches and how you can harness that same impact without spending a dime on a publicist. So first, if you want to get massively visible, really loud in your visibility without getting lost in all of the noise of everyone else going live at the same time, well, the thing that you're going to need to keep in mind is having a multi-channel approach. A multi-channel approach means you're not just focusing on your Facebook group. You're not just focusing on your Instagram. You're not just focusing on your TikTok. You're not just focusing on your Twitch channel. You need to have a holistic approach to your visibility. You need to be looking at what you're doing on Facebook and how that's converting people to your Instagram account. And once they're in your Instagram account, how are you converting them over to your YouTube? And how are you nurturing them differently on each of these different channels? Every channel, every platform that you're going to go live on has a different type of language. They have a different type of dialogue. They have a different way of speaking to their customers because every person is going to be accessing those platforms with a different intent. We've heard this before. If you're on YouTube, YouTube is a search engine before it is a social media platform, right? So we need to be speaking to our audience in a different way than if we were engaging on a platform like Instagram that is very much more based on a visual platform. These are different languages, they're different ways that we talk to our people, but the way to get really loud is to have that multi-channel approach. You want to create noise and you want to get lost in that noise, then what you're going to do is repurpose your content, post it on all of your different platforms at the same time. Just post the same video, the same piece of content everywhere, and then rinse and repeat. But if you want massive impact, what you're going to do is think very strategically about how each of your pieces of content will be best delivered in the language of each of the different platforms you're using. So you take your main piece of pillar content and you break it into what works best on Instagram, for example, like quote cards and stories. You're going to take that same piece of pillar content, break it up differently in the way that it's going to appear on your YouTube channel with like highlight videos or summary videos. Every platform has a different language and has a different intent behind it. Take your main piece of pillar content, break it up into your multi-channel approach, and you're going to see levels of volume in your visibility that you've never seen before. And if you want more tips and tricks like this, definitely hit that subscribe button because I release new videos every single week that talk about building that influence, that authority, and ultimately your income online. So come along for that journey. Okay, now it's time to talk about your team, and I promised you I would tell you the most important members of your team that you need to have on board if you want your launch to be any sort of success. You want to have launch partners. Launch partners are different than joint venture partners, and they're different than podcast partners. Launch partners are the ones who are not only going to help you create that launch content, the stuff that you're actually launching, but they're also the ones who are going to get the loudest possible. They're the ones who are going to share your project with their audiences. They're the ones who are going to be your flag bearers, your flag wavers, your big, loud spokespeople out front of your event. These are the people you definitely want to make sure that you have and you keep in touch with on your team. You want to make sure that they're involved in development and when we're actually getting loud with our visibility, when we're out there doing a media tour. Doesn't necessarily just have to be you, the attractive character out there doing interviews. Bring your joint venture partners, bring your launch partners along for that as well. well. Invite them to go on their own mini media tours as well. Then they'll start to talk about, they'll praise the benefits of your product, of your offer, of whatever it is you're launching, and people will be able to hear it from a different attractive character, from a different voice, a different perspective. They may have a different level of rapport with their audience or that segment of the audience. Having more people on board with you sharing that message is going to level up your visibility in terms of volume, but it's also going to amplify the intensity of it. Establishing that authority, establishing that influence, and ultimately leading to more income in your pockets. Well, let me know if you have any upcoming launches or if you have ideas for products and offers that you want to launch in the future. Definitely drop them in the comments below. I would love to give you any and all advice, answer any questions you have about getting loud about your next or upcoming launches. Drop those down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, so I've kind of teased this already. We're talking about media tours. I've mentioned it in our previous point, but let's talk about it some more. So a media tour is when you have a launch coming up and you want to get really loud about it. You want to introduce you as the attractive character, your solution to the pain points of your dream customers. You want to introduce all of these to new audiences. And the way that we do this is we gather together all of the different podcast hosts and show hosts that we know, and we say, hey, I want to serve your audience with something. Create a mini training for them and offer this as an interview on their show. Invite their guests to your solution, to your webinar, or to however you're launching your product. Invite them along for the ride. When you tell the right story on this tour, when you have the right messaging, it's going to resonate with your dream customers who are sitting there. They don't know you yet, but they're sitting there. Then they're in love already with the podcast host or with that show, with that community, and now they're being introduced to you and your solutions. If you do this right, you'll be able to make contacts with hundreds or even thousands of people in a single week, bringing them and inviting them into your programs, into your webinar, into your solution. And I mentioned when we talked about launch partners, inviting your launch partners onto your media strategy as well. I think this is the greatest way of adding affiliates to your launch team, bringing that aspect of having your own army of affiliates out there pushing your product, introducing it to your dream customers so that you can focus on serving your community, on serving your people, while you have your affiliate army out there introducing you to new people. What a crazy idea. I'm full of crazy ideas and really great tactics and trainings, and I've put a whole slew of them together just for you guys. We call it the Visibility Hacking Secrets Vault. It's full of trainings that are going to help you level up your visibility, your influence, your authority, and again, ultimately your income online. So definitely check it out, absolutely free, down in the links below. Check it out, start implementing them, put these things into play, because I want to see you and your solutions out there on the market. Come join me. I'd love to see you guys.